seem to have that attitude where, you know, that exclusion thing, you know, which it always had bothered me about that world, because I've always really admired the music, but always kind of for some reason felt that we were outside of it, whatever, and still do to a large extent. And now I'm kind of, for the first time, I'm kind of glad of it, in a way. But I'll explain that a bit better. But the parallels between Chicago and Dublin were amazing. We're sitting in this house, and like, you know, it's us, and you know, the Songs of High Lads were there, and you know, the guy from the High Lambs was there, and you know, it was just you know, just this incredible sort of world of people that were all totally cool. It was a bit like being down in Whelan's at one of the, you know, at a stay back or something, where everybody's just hanging out, and you're kind of, and so one party is sitting there kind of going, this is totally not. Another party is sitting there going, this is amazing. I really respect all the people in this room, and how often in my life am I going to get an opportunity to sit with people that I think are great, really, you know, really great. So it was similar in Chicago. We had a great time. With ZTT, it was never like that. What you had was you had a musician at the helm. You had an artist who wanted basically to have different versions of his own art with different helpers, and we were basically like the little helpers, helping him to realise something that was much bigger than us. Which we didn't do, because basically we fought and 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 fought, and eventually, just before we gave up, they gave up and let us go. So basically that was kind of how our relationship went. It was like, it was just, by the end of it, we were all ill. You know, no one was feeling particularly healthy in any way about their lives or their ideals anymore, because it was just like we felt like we were trapped in a situation that we weren't going to get out. And I pleaded with Trevor. I said, please let us go. You know it isn't working. I don't like you. You know, you don't like me. What are we doing in this situation? You know. And he eventually saw sense and went, okay, look, fair enough. And I really admire them for that, because that honesty got through to him in the end. We weren't trying to, you know, there was a situation where the truth came out. And I have to sort of respect where it's due. I have to sort of say to them that they played a big part in keeping the sort of, you know, the band popular on a larger scale, certainly for the past couple of years.
Yeah, Aim's the healthiest it's ever been right now. You're really popular. Dance the Devil was lauded as a great record. I mean, you don't have a record deal though, you know.
Yeah, it's yeah, I know. Somebody called us the Grateful Dead of Ireland's Grateful Dead. It's kind of like, we'll do it ourselves. And that's kind of, for the first time in our history, we now get the opportunity to fuck up on our own ground, you know, and equally we get the opportunity to succeed on our own terms. So we're in a very interesting position right now, and the onus is completely on the band. If our next record comes out and it sells, this is the one difference though. If it does come out and it sells none, you know, which it won't, it'll sell a few at least. And if it comes out and sells a lot, we've only ourselves to blame. We've only ourselves to congratulate. But before that, even if it comes out and doesn't sell any, we're actually cool, because we really think that we've made a really good record.
You'll see how hard it can be to keep on following the real.
For me, I'm kind of frustrated at the moment, because I have all these people coming at me, and everybody's comparing the success of David Gray to the potential success of the Frames' next record, and that gets me really up, because I'm like, we're not him. We didn't make a willfully commercial record. We've made a record that to me relates to Frames fans and relates to Frames people, and basically we made it for ourselves. It was made as a simple little thing. I don't want anybody getting upset with me if it doesn't do well, whereas I think people will actually, you know, people are like, and I understand why people are also kind of like, you know, you're in this great position, go for it. And people are saying, you know, Ireland's best kept secret and all. It's like, we're not a secret. We've been doing it for a long time. We're working hard. We just want to keep it really plain, keep the whole, you know, system very plain. Like, we're bakers. We bake bread, you know. People buy the bread. The bakery gets to stay open for another year. You know, it's like, that's kind of the simple, the sort of the village mentality or whatever. And if it goes well, and if our bakery gets the opportunity to turn multinational, maybe we'll just buy a couple more shops and open up some more. But like, we don't trust in that world.
To come to this thing, what it is we got our record back today. We knew we were going to get it back today. Does anyone have a copy that we can show? It came back from the printers and the manufacturers, so we wanted to have some sort of thing to celebrate it. So this is kind of like our official album launch thing. Very... Free CDs! So, thanks a million for coming, and this is kind of exciting for us. We feel like we feel like our uncle has let us into his brand new car, and we might crash it. It's a great time for us to make this record on our own. We might crash it, but we might also pull every chick in the town. Every possibility.
When did your real connection with the audience happen?
It's funny because it actually happened the first time we ever played. That was the amazing thing. I think because myself and a few of my friends were buskers before, we sort of understood getting on a stage and creating an atmosphere or something. There was something about it that, and we were very fortunate. We've been basically our audience is the glue. And sometimes I wish it wasn't, because sometimes I wish what was the glue was our belief. But the reality is that to a large extent, our audience coming to our gigs, supporting the band, patronising, our songs, are the glue that keep us together a lot of the time. They're the blood that runs through, or whatever, without being too idealistic. But they are basically they're the thing that keeps us going.
And lay me down in the hallowed ground, down by your side I will stay. So lay me down.
But you see, what people and what ZTT fail to realise in our history is that when I started off, I was listening to Van de Man and Bob Dylan, and that's kind of where my mentality. I made a decision when I was like 10 to take a long winding path to where I'm going to get, and basically I don't have to worry about whether my albums are going to be successful now, because that decision was made a long time ago. So it wasn't a case of have some success, buy a big gaff, get fat, make a few more records and die. It was more like, from now until the end of my life, I'm going to try to get better and better and better at what I do, and I don't know. And basically, nobody who ever signed the band or was ever involved in the band, I don't think ever really saw that we're a band who aren't, or that I as a songwriter was never looking at the quick exit. Always just more to do with just give me the work, and basically. From 10 till now, all I've been doing is working the field. That decision at 10 bought me the fields. It basically gave me this huge plot of land, and it was like, okay, you're going to work those fields for the next 40 years, so go and do it.
So lay me down.